got an insider report here on Celtics owner Wyc Grousbeck and why he ended up selling his part of the Boston Celtics. We're going to go into what he had to say to some media outlets about why he made this decision, what that means to Boston Celtics moving forward, and who could possibly be the next owner of a very successful franchise over the last few years. Because believe it or not, Wyc is actually eyeing a huge history-making deal in the terms of sports sales. And I don't blame him. There have been a lot of sales recently that have just gotten increasingly higher, bigger, more expensive. So I don't blame Wyc for now going out there saying, hey, look, I bought this for $360 million in 2002. Now Forbes estimates it at $4.7 billion. What will Wyc decide to do? Well, here's his first comment on why he decided to do this in the first place, which was pretty insightful. He said, I haven't thought much about it going forward, but I am a competitive guy. Why not? I mean, if you're going to keep score on everything. This is telling me Wyc wants to sell big. And when you're looking at the most expensive sports team sales in history, it goes all the way back to 2012. Remember how I said inflation, how things are getting more expensive? 2012, you bought the Dodgers for $2 billion. Doesn't sound like much, right? Just $2 billion. Then you move all the way over to the 2020s. You got 2023, the Phoenix Suns, the highest NBA franchise, sold $4 billion for the Suns. Milwaukee Bucks at about half that, $3.5 billion. Denver Broncos, Chelsea F.C., the Washington Commanders, most recently Dan Snyder selling the organization for $6.1 billion. Let me tell you, Commanders are not the Celtics. The Commanders have not had success in probably my lifetime as I'm 25 years old. Now the Boston Celtics at an estimated $4.7 billion does give you more of a leverage because they just won the NBA Finals. They are a successful franchise, which is why Wyc is now looking at it like, hey man, if you can make a big deal, make a big deal. But my question here for you guys before I dive deeper into Wyc's insight is, who should own the Boston Celtics next? Go ahead, comment that down below. Who do you guys want to see running this organization in the next couple of years? Although Wyc will be the governor through 2028. Here's what Wyc had to say about the majority share, which is what he owns. I just want to clarify, it's not my majority stake. The control of the team is owned by my family. So it's a family that I belong to, and then I have the Celtics family that I also belong to. So there's an intersection and there's an involvement. The family has been involved for 22 years. There's been discussions and thoughts about estate planning and family planning. We are poised to go after another championship and be a real contender. We're poised for bringing everybody back. I would think there'd be interest because people would be able to start being involved in something that is at the top of the world, not at the bottom. And to quote my dad's favorite movie, Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. That is what Wyc has done. That is what Brad Stevens has done. They have built this franchise to be championship contenders. Even though they just won their first championship since 2008, they have been contending for the last 5-6 years. And that's what this franchise is now at stake for, selling for the highest paid franchise in history. They are an NBA championship in the last 5 seasons. They just won recently in 2024, but they have made 2 NBA Finals appearances. They lost last time to the Golden State Warriors. In the last 5 years, they've made 4 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. This is a winning franchise. While there may only be 1 ring in the last 5 years, they are a winning franchise with the team that's coming back to continue to win. Wyc continues to go on talking about his Celtics ownership, saying the plan, the expectation, is to sell the team in 2 parts. 51% going fairly soon, which I know they do want to do in 2024 or 25. 49% then closing in a second closing. That's the expectation in 2028. I'm planning or expected to stay on until 28 as the governor, and we're going to hire bankers and advisors, and this is going to be quite a bidding process. So now it's, all right, who's got the most money? Who's the most interested? Who has the best interest in this franchise? Because like you said, Wyc's got Celtics family and real family involved in this. He's not going to let it go to some Joe Schmo. And the latest report is that 51% controlled by the Grousbeck family will be sold fairly soon. 49% held by other partners for a later transaction. So Grousbeck is looking to get out of this. It doesn't mean all the majority stakeholders and shareholders are expected to get out of this. But as there are odds on everything, there are odds on who will be the next owner of the Boston Celtics. Larry Ellison, who of course does work for Oracle. Steve Pagliuca, I forgot how to pronounce his name. Let's call him Pags. Steve Pags. Plus 300 right now to be the next owner. He already has a share in the Boston Celtics. Abigail Johnson, CEO of Fidelity. Jeremy Jacobs, who is the owner of the Boston Bruins. Fenway Sports Group, as you guys know, currently owns the Boston Red Sox. And then Jeff Bezos, the Amazon inventor, creator, CEO, the guy who has taken a lot of my money already, is plus 800. But the good news is that Wyc did confirm that Pags would be a bidder. And I do think that Pags has a good envision for the Boston Celtics. I go back to Wyc not bringing in some Joe Schmo to mess up what he and his family have created over the last 22 years. Here's what he had to say about Pags, though, about him being a part of the Celtics ownership for quite some time now. He said, Steve has been a terrific lead partner and a lead co-owner, I would say, in many ways. He brought Danny Ainge to the table back in the day when we were looking for a general manager. Steve has been great and is a great person, and we welcome him, obviously, for sure, in the bidding process. But he also mentioned that he is a good friend of John, who's the owner of the Fenway Sports Group, who could also be potential bidders. And I know there's a lot of Boston Red Sox fans out there that don't like the Fenway Sports Group and how they've run that organization, so he could also be a bidder. So nonetheless, my summary is it's going to be a very interesting year to see what the Boston Celtics do with their most recent champions and what they intend to do in the future of the champions. So with that being said, give Wyc some love in the chat. Give the governor some love. He's hoisted many Larry O'Brien trophies. He just hoisted his most recent one in 2024. Spam your shams in the comment section down below. Let Wyc know we appreciate what he has done for he and his family, for the Celtics franchise for quite some time. As always, hit that sub button for me. If the Celtics make a move, we make a video. I want you guys to be a part of it. So go on ahead, subscribe to Celtics Today by Chat Sports. That way you guys are all in on everything Boston Celtics.